slow slogging over mountain grades left a large amount of their power unused. It wasn't until they were unleashed on the relative flat of central Ohio that the C&O finally saw it had a high-speed freight locomotive on its hands.
Hello everyone, Brick Trooper here, and today we'll be covering our very first Chesapeake and Ohio steam locomotive, a absolute monster of the rails. Just last weekend, I was lucky enough to go to the Henry Ford Museum and see this legendary locomotive in person, and I decided it'd be a good idea to include this train on my next YouTube video. My first thought on seeing this train in person is, wow, this thing is massive, and I mean massive. One of the driving wheels alone is just as tall as me, and there's 12 of them. Seeing this locomotive in person was just really great and an experience I will never forget. But we're not here to talk about my experience seeing the locomotive, we're here to talk about the actual history of it. The first Allegheny would be built in 1941 and be used by the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. The C&O would purchase a total of 60 Allegheny locomotives for their roster, and they'd be numbered 1600 through 1645. The Virginian would also purchase its fair share of Alleghenies, although they'd call their locomotives Blue Ridges. Their locomotives would be numbered 900 to 907, and they would purchase theirs in the year of 1945. The Alleghenies would have a 2-6-6-6 wheel arrangement. Wait, is that right? 2-6-6-6? Well, it looks like we just found the devil's engine. This steam locomotive had a very weird and odd wheel configuration with the 6 trailing wheels. The Allegheny would be most famous for being the tallest and most heaviest steam locomotive ever built, weighing in at a whopping 600 tons. This sheer amount of weight would actually cause a huge lawsuit against Lima, the company that actually built the Allegheny steam locomotive, as maintenance crews soon discovered that the locomotive was heavier than Lima had previously stated. Lima would be sued for a total of $3 million, which is far more in today's money. Despite this heavy weight, the Allegheny proved to be a very successful and versatile steam locomotive. One locomotive was capable of hauling 160 coal hoppers, 1.25 miles long. These trains also had an astonishing length of 125 feet. For as great as these locomotives were, it sadly would not last, as the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad would retire all of their Alleghenies by the year of 1952, followed by the Virginian Railway in 1955. This was sadly due to the rise in diesel power. While steam remained king in overall pulling power, diesels required far less maintenance and were overall far cheaper. Shortly after their retirement, both the C&O and Virginian Railways would begin scrapping their Alleghenies and Blue Ridges. However, as luck would have it, 2 C&O Alleghenies would be spared from the scrapper's torch. Number 1601 and 1604 are still alive in complete preservation, one of which I have seen in the Henry Ford Museum. Sadly, however, the Virginian's Blue Ridges would not be so lucky, as all would be scrapped. And there you have it, the story of the C&O's monster of the rails, the 2-6-6-6 Allegheny, and Virginian's Blue Ridges. It is unfortunate to know that there are no more Virginian Blue Ridges in preservation, but it is still satisfying to know that we still have C&O 1601 and C&O 1604 to keep the legend of these Allegheny steam locomotives alive for all to see. And if you want to see more train videos, please consider subscribing, so you never miss an update here on Brick Trooper. And remember, no matter what kind of steam locomotive you're building, bigger is always better. And I will see you in the next video.